This is the Leitmotif and Movement Podcast, a father and son's journey into the vast worlds of music. I'm your host, Mike Ficklin, and joining me on this epic musical journey is my son,
Michael Ficklin.
This show is dedicated to the discussion of music and introducing Michael to music from the past and present. We discuss music mainly from the genres of rock, hard rock, and heavy metal. We also, from time to time, dive into film and video game scores, and we sprinkle in some surprises along the way. Michael, what have you been listening to this week?
I took a dive into a couple of bands' catalogs. I started out with Alter Bridge. I have gotten through One Day Remains, which is their first record, and Blackbird, which is their second record.
Both of those are really, really good. Any particular favorite songs from those?
Blackbird, I would say Watch Over You, the most standout one for me.
Yeah, it's a really good ballad.
I think my favorite off One Day Remains is Broken Wings.
Good song. Really good song.
Then I took a little dive into Killswitch Engage and listened to the 3 records that Howard was on.
Yeah. All 3 of those are outstanding. Which one was your favorite?
I think my favorite was the End of Heartache.
The first one with Howard.
Yeah.
Any particular favorite songs?
I don't think I could pick out a favorite song. They're all amazing.
Yeah, Howard is an amazing singer. He's got a lot of soul to his clean vocals, and his screams are just bar none outstanding.
And then, of course, The Assignment. And then I also revisited the Glassjaw record, Worship and Tribute.
Excellent record. I love that record. Any particular favorite songs for you off of that?
Another record that I can't pick a favorite song off of.
There are so many good songs on there. I really, really like Trailer Park Jesus. I think that's probably my personal favorite song on the record. Anything else for you, Michael?
I do not have anything else.
Okay. Well, for me, I checked out the new record from Deeren Gray titled Mortal Downer. This is the 12th studio album from the Japanese prog metal outfit. It has a much muddier sound than their last outing, 2022's Phalaris. The mix on the record sounds more lo-fi, especially in the drum sound. Musically, it seems very reminiscent of nu metal. There's Nothing Else does go hard as hell. There's some screaming vocals and some vicious guitar riffs on that song. However, personally, I don't think this record is as interesting musically as some of their other material. The album does have some good moments on it here and there, but it is wildly inconsistent for the most part. The terrible muddy sonics on the record really bring it down quite a bit. I do wonder how a cleaner mix and tone would be with these songs. I don't find anything really worth hanging my hat on after my listens of the album. It's just bland, and it's a real shame. I also checked out the new record from 9 Inch Nails and Boys Noise titled 9 Inch Noise. It's designated as Halo 38, and this is a collaborative album between 9 Inch Nails and Boys Noise, as I mentioned. It features reworkings and re-recordings of primarily 9 Inch Nails songs. However, there is a How to Destroy Angels song on here, which was a side project of Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, and it features Trent's wife on the album. They perform the song Parasite, which was from the How to Destroy Angels record. They also do a cover of Soft Cell's Memorabilia, which Nine Inch Nails has covered in the past. The record features a mixture of live and studio material. These recordings bring a whole new and different energy to these songs, breathing new life into them. This feels like a collaboration that was meant to be. The music feels infectious and infinitely danceable while still going hard. The reworked versions of Heresy and How to Destroy Angels Parasite in particular stand out for being this combination of gothic industrial and techno dance. The low end on this record is killer. The bass lines really come through loud and clear. I've mentioned before that I feel like remixes work best when they retain the essence of the original. Check out the version of Closer that is on this record. There's plenty of the original unsettling atmosphere in this, while changing just enough to make it feel different. I've seen the set that Nine Inch Noise put on at Coachella 2026, and you can absolutely tell that these reimagined songs translate very well to the live setting. It's an incredible performance if you haven't seen it. It seems that this collaboration has sparked up the creative juices for Trent Reznor. I'd love to see Nine Inch Nails and Boys Noise continue this energy into a record of new material. This gets a Pick of the Week nomination from me. I also took a dive into the Black Matter Device discography. These guys are a mathcore band out of Richmond, Virginia, and they are pure, controlled chaos. They remind me of Dillinger Escape Plan in all the best ways. It's high energy, frenetic, and unrelentingly, unapologetically heavy. I listened to all of their stuff, and it's not a huge time commitment. Their albums run an average of about 30 minutes, if that. It's all killer, no filler with this band. And the last stuff that I was digging into here, I started digging into the Black Sabbath catalog. I checked out Volume 4 and Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. I had heard a lot of the Ozzy-era stuff and all of the Dio-era stuff before, but really nothing else. I wanted to check out all of their catalog, and I've been meaning to do that, so I got started. I find that Volume 4 and Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, which features Ozzy, a little more proggy than their previous releases. I really love songs like Changes and Snowblind from Volume 4, and the title track from Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, along with Killing Yourself to Live, are both killer. Looking forward to listening to the rest of that discography. Michael, did you think of anything else before we move on?
I did not.
Okay. So now we're going to get into the art of discovery. This is our segment where we take a listen to a few bands that are either unsigned or just not getting the love we feel they deserve. We've got a great selection of songs for you this time around. We're going to kick things off with a heavy metal band out of Mesa, Arizona. This is Internal Descent with their song Narcissistic Plague. And once again, that was Internal Descent with their song Narcissistic Plague. You can purchase their music from the iTunes store. Michael, that song goes hard as hell, man. That guitar work was killer.
That was amazing.
Yeah, dude. Just hard as hell. All right. Our next song comes from an alternative rock band out of London, UK. This is Harsh Language with their song Capsized.
Practicing my best
And once again, that was Harsh Language with their song Capsized. That comes from their EP titled Signal Fires. You can purchase their music from their Bandcamp page, harshlanguage.bandcamp.com. Michael, what'd you think about that?
Another amazing song.
Yeah, dude. I really like the atmosphere they build up on that song. It's such a good tune.
Agreed.
All right. Our final song comes from a progressive metal band out of Germany that we've featured on the show before. This is Monosphere with their song Idiomorph. And once again, that was Idiomorph from Monosphere. That comes from their album Amnesia. You can purchase their music from their Bandcamp page, monosphereband.bandcamp.com. Michael, what'd you think about that one, buddy?
Another amazing one.
Yeah, dude. I loved that song the first time I heard it. The whole album is so good. But that one was the one that stood out for me, the one that I really thought you would like. So I'm betting that winds up on your playlist.
It will when I go through a mass adding again.
All right. Well, with that said, we would like to thank all of the bands that we featured on today's Art of Discovery segment. If you would like to be featured in this segment, feel free to reach out to us at lightmovepod@gmail.com, or you can reach us on one of our various social media platforms. If we dig what we hear, we would love to play a song from you on the show. All right, Michael, now we're going to get into our main topic. This is breaking down Mastodon's 2004 release, Leviathan. Leviathan is the second album from Mastodon. It was released through Relapse Records. It is Mastodon's first concept album, and it's based on the 1851 novel Moby Dick by Herman Melville. 3 magazines awarded the album Album of the Year in 2004, Revolver, Kerrang, and Terrorizer. In 2009 and 2015, Metal Sucks named Leviathan the best metal album of the 21st century. High praise.
Yes. Very high praise.
Yes, sir. The album was honored with a 2004 Metal Storm Award for Best Alternative Metal Album. In 2017, Rolling Stone ranked Leviathan 46th on their list of the 100 greatest metal albums of all time. German magazine Rock Hard ranked Leviathan 9th on the list of the 15 most important progressive metal albums. Crazy.
Yes.
Personnel featured on this record: Troy Sanders on bass and vocals, the late great Brent Hinds on lead and rhythm guitar and vocals, Bill Kelliher on rhythm and lead guitar, and Brann Dailor on drums. Those are the main members of Mastodon. Then we get some guest musicians. We've got Neil Fallon from Clutch providing additional vocals on Blood and Thunder, Scott Kelly from Neurosis providing additional vocals on Aqua Dementia, Phil Peterson providing cello on Aqua Dementia, and Matt Bales on organs on Joseph Merrick. And Michael, with that a little bit of background out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into our track-by-track analysis. We get things kick-started with track number 1. This is Blood and Thunder. Michael, what you got on this?
It's more than kickstarted.
Got the blood pumping, huh?
Yeah. But I will tell you, this is at 97 million plays. There's only one other song that gets into the 10 millions.
No. Here we go. Right off the bat, you're already making me mad with Spotify, man. Right off the bat.
You wanna know how it gets as low as 3 million?
No. So this one is the most listened to song on the record then, right?
Nope. Actually, I was incorrect about that.
Okay.
No, I was talking about my original thing about how the lowest place. It's at 2 million.
This song only has 2 million?
No, the lowest that
Okay.
it gets on the record is
Okay.
2 million.
Yeah, still that's unforgivable. We'll get to it when we get to it.
well, this song is the most popular song that Mastodon has ever released.
I could see it. I can see it. So what you got on this?
I really enjoy that killer guitar riff to open up the song into awesome vocals. It's just, this is what you expect from an opening.
It gets your attention right away, man. Gets the blood pumping, gets you into the record right away.
Clearly, it didn't get enough people into it on Spotify.
No.
Yeah, that the insane gap just jumping between one song.
That's all right. We already know that I have a thing against singles listeners. Listen to the whole album. For me, there's a very raw sound to the opening guitar riff. The riff feels like it would be right at home on a Metallica album. As we get into the song proper, the intensity turns up and the guitar tone becomes heavier and more distorted. Brann Dailor's drums are killer. He plays this fast punk rhythm for the verses, but gets into something a little more proggy in the chorus. He puts in some crazy fills in the chorus. Guitarist Brent Hinds and Bill Kelliher slay on this song. I mentioned the opening main riff of the song before, but the chorus is where it's at for me. There's a psychedelic, sludgy feel to it. It's very hooky. Clutch's Neil Fallon makes a guest spot on vocals during the chorus, providing the screams. Bassist Troy Sanders takes the lead vocals, providing a very, I think, Jamie Josta-like hardcore performance. An absolutely crushing opening track. Lyrically, this song is an exploration of Captain Ahab's obsession with hunting the white whale Moby Dick. Michael, do you have anything else on Blood and Thunder?
I do not.
Okay. So we'll get into track number 2. This is I Am Ahab. Michael, what do you got on this?
8 million plays.
No. Absolutely not. No.
Let's do some math real fast. That's like an 89 million gap.
Once again, Spotify listeners looking only for the singles, which really, really irritates me. Listen to the whole record, especially when it's a concept record. You gotta listen to the whole thing so you get all the proper context. Ugh. No. Anyway, what do you got on this?
Another amazing song, and it leads in perfectly from Blood and Thunder. I love when bands do that perfect lead in to songs.
That really perfect segue just rolls right into the next song. Anything else?
Go.
Okay. The opening guitar riff to this song makes me think of being on the high seas, which fits since this song is about Captain Ahab. There's some very Rush-like breakdown sections in this opening that feature some killer drum work from Dailor. Then we get into the song proper. The tempo has a quick, punk fusion vibe. Dailor's drum patterns are absolutely thunderous, and never more so than around the 2-minute mark. There's a very thrashy feel to the song on the whole that just makes you want to get in the pit. Troy Sanders is again on the lead vocals, bringing his gravelly, very Josta-like vocals to this song. At just 2 minutes 45 seconds in length, this song is all killer, no filler. Lyrically, this song is continuing to dig into the psychology of Captain Ahab and his obsessive pursuit of Moby Dick. Outstanding song. Michael, do you have anything else on I Am Ahab?
That amazing guitar solo in the middle of the song.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing.
Yes, sir.
An amazing way to end out the song with that ending riff, you know?
Good stuff. All right, Michael. We'll move on now to track number 3. This is Sea Beast. What you got on this?
7 million plays.
I think I've said enough about my disagreements with Spotify. I'm not going to say anything else.
I really like this opening with that guitar, like more I don't even know how to describe that guitar riff.
It's very psychedelic.
Yeah. And then that breakdown into the song is amazing. The song is a bit more it's different from the first two songs. It's a definitely switch up.
Yeah.
Can you agree?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a different tone and feel to this song for sure. Much different than the first two, which go really hard.
Yes.
Yeah, like you mentioned, this one opens up with a slower, more psychedelic feel. And as we get into the song proper, I think the guitar riff has a bit of an Alice in Chains feel to it. The tone sounds dirty, distorted, and heavy. Sanders' bass line has a bit of a haunting vibe to it. Dailor is again just killing it on the drums. There's a complexity to his drum fills that is just stellar, and he does this while maintaining a really groovy pocket. It's Brent Hinds taking the lead vocals on this. His vocals have a higher pitch to them, and they kind of remind me a bit of Ozzy Osbourne. Sanders does share in the vocal duties in a couple of sections. In Sanders' sections, the song shifts and becomes very Sabbath-like. I love the closing 45 seconds or so of this song. There's a killer head-banging groove to it. Michael, do you have anything else on Sea Beast?
I do not.
Okay. So we'll move right along then to track number 4. This is Island. Michael, what you got on this?
4 million plays.
Okay. Okay.
This is another heavy song. And I think you could make an argument it's heavier than the first two.
You definitely could. It definitely is an absolute banger at the opening, right?
Yeah. That riff to get us in. Oh, that's amazing.
Could you imagine them playing this song live? What the feel from the audience would be? Just the pit that would open up?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's back to that thrashy sound, and that guitar riff is meaty and heavy as hell. It's Troy Sanders back on the vocals. He gives us some screams and some overall aggressive vocals. I love the little proggy, rush-like section that we first hear around 45 seconds in. Dailor is a house on fire on the drums. He sets such a killer groove on this song. Around the 2-minute 7-second mark, the song takes a shift. It gets a little unsettling and dissonant. As we come into the song close, we get back to a thrashy, very heavy sounding section. Brent Hinds and Bill Kelliher's guitar work on this song is face-melting. Interestingly, Hinds and Kelliher are not playing the same thing. They're playing these interlocking guitar parts that come together to create this amazing wall of sound. Awesome stuff. Michael, do you have anything else on Island?
I do not.
Okay. So we'll move along now to track number 5. This is Iron Tusk. Michael, what you got on this?
We went from the to the low from the lows to the second highest, which is at 11 million.
Only 11 million?
Mm-hmm.
For the second highest? Man, off. No.
I know you agree with it.
No.
You
What do
agree
you
with
got?
it a lot. Another heavy song with that riff. You know what you're getting yourself into with that riff, you know?
Yes, sir.
Just heavy, heavy, heavy riff.
I kind of getting the vibe from you that you were a bit bored with this record. You don't seem to have much fire for it, sir. And that's okay. I'm not trying to tell you you should feel one way or another about it. You certainly are entitled to your own opinion and your own thoughts, but I'm really not feeling the fire from you on this. It feels like those conversations we had about, Led Zeppelin early on when we were doing this show. Does it just not resonate with you?
I just found it hard to pick apart.
You found it hard to pick apart?
To get creative.
Was that because
with what I said?
There's such an intense wall of sound that you couldn't really, distinguish guitar parts and bass parts and that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I think the production and the mix on this record is very raw. So it's not polished. And the way that Mastodon builds their sound with their low end and stuff, I had a difficult time picking out bass lines at times also. So I kind of understand where you're coming from on it. But kind of shifting back to my comment about you not feeling the fire about it, I guess we'll get into it a little more when we get to your final thoughts. I'm just starting to wonder about whether or not you enjoyed listening to this or not, so we'll get into that more when we get into your final thoughts. Did you have anything else on Iron Tusk?
I do not.
So, for me, Brann Dailor's crazy drum intro to this track is an amazing metal way to open things up. This song, again, feels right at home with the best of thrash metal titans, while also carrying a bit of psychedelia. Hinds and Kelliher's twin guitar attack is not only heavy, but also has a killer groove and melody to it. There's a really heavy breakdown around the 1 minute 11 second mark that brings the chugging guitar riffs. Sanders' vocals bring the whole thing together. His guttural growls and screams pierce the metal wall of sound. If this thing doesn't get your head banging, then I'm not sure what will. All right, Michael, let's move along to track number 6. This is Megalodon. What you got on this?
It's a bit slower opening. Do you agree?
Yeah, it's kind of got a dreamy opening, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of atmospheric. Yeah.
And then you get into heavy, heavy, heavy. That it's just amazing. The switch up that you get throughout the song, you know? And the bounce back and forth.
Yeah, I agree. There's quite a few transitions on this.
It's really unique and stands out on the record. Now, Spotify
I agree.
is saying 7 million plays.
We already know how I feel about Spotify. I've reeled on them enough on this episode. Yeah, like you mentioned, the opening to this one feels really dreamy. And then it gives way to a very Sabbathy sounding riff. This then gives way to a very thrashy, hardcore sounding song. The riff reminds me a bit of something Shadows Fall might have done. Around the 1 minute 20 second mark, the song takes an interesting turn. The guitar riff in that transition sounds very bluegrass inspired. My guess is that Brent Hinds had a lot to do with it. Brent Hinds actually has a background in bluegrass music, or had a background in bluegrass music before joining Mastodon. So sometimes his background comes into play on the way that he structures guitar riffs for Mastodon. It's very interesting. Brann Dailor handles the transition beautifully, utilizing some incredible polyrhythmic work. Then we get into a thunderous and heavy as hell thrash section. Dailor's drums are fast and furious. The guitar work feels like it would be right at home on a Ride the Lightning era Metallica album. I am again blown away by the complexity and the execution of Dailor's drum work. There's some really proggy moments on this song, and he navigates those transitions deftly. Sanders again provides his gravelly, guttural vocals to this song. I love the Sabbathy guitar work to close out the song. This is one of my favorite songs on the record, by far. Michael, do you have anything else on Megalodon?
I do not.
Okay. So we'll move on then to track number 7. This is Naked Burn. What you got on this?
I really like that opening riff. It leads in so well into the vocals, you know?
Yes, sir. It's a bit trippy.
Yeah. I really enjoy that lead in. It's amazing. And then that gets
That gar.
that guitar solo around the 40-second mark is amazing.
Yes, sir, it is.
Just an amazing song. I would say this is probably my favorite song on the record.
This
Now,
particular
Spotify,
song is?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Now, Spotify does not agree with me.
Of course it doesn't.
4,556,000 plays.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. That's crap. This is a much better song than that. So, Brent Hinds is back on vocals for this song. The opening is a bit trippy, but then the song transitions to something much heavier around 40 seconds in. It's like a Sabbath heavy. There's a lot going on in the guitar work on this song. There's a lot of nuance and complexity. Dailor's drums continue to be a star of the show on this song. His fills are outstanding. His ability to shift timing dynamically and with ease is incredible. The more I listen to this song, the more I pick up on the Rush-inspired vibes. It's like Rush meets Black Sabbath. It's very proggy, and I'm here for it. Troy Sanders does get some growled vocals in during these brief, really heavy breakdowns, such as the one to close out the song. Michael, do you have anything else on Naked Burn?
Just an amazing song.
Yes, sir.
Just the switch ups, like we just so easily, like, and so like perfectly put in the switches that happen.
Their transitions are flawless, man.
Yeah.
And it's worth mentioning that Brann Dailor was a huge fan of Rush's Neil Peart. So you can see how Neil Peart influenced Brann Dailor's playing. Lots of proggy transitions. His drum work is just phenomenal. Chef's kiss.
Yes.
All right, Michael, let's move on to track number 8. This is Aqua Dementia. Michael, what you got on this?
That opening riff, again. They don't fail with the opening riffs.
No, sir, they bring it every time.
Just amazing opening riff, and just the I can't speak enough on the riffs. Plus the vocals just fit so well. Yeah, it's just amazing.
Let me just say that I love the guitar work that opens the song. It's like Brent Hinds brought in a bluegrass riff and translated it to something heavier and distorted. As we get into the song proper, we get more of an up-tempo thrash song. We get a very hardcore punk screaming vocal style guest spot from then Neurosis frontman Scott Kelly alongside Troy Sanders on this one. I love the transitions in this song. They're swift and sudden, but they work so well. It's like going from smooth sailing on a ship and then hitting rough, choppy waters. It's an incredible aural experience. The slower, heavy chugging section of the song that starts around the 2-minute 46-second mark is so satisfying. It makes me toe tap and bang my head every time. The song closes with the sounds of wind gusts and the crashing of waves. Michael, do you have anything else on Aqua Dementia?
The perfect lead in to
Yes,
the next
sir.
song.
Yes, sir. This song rolls right into track number 9, titled Hearts Alive. Michael, what do you got on this?
3,718,000 plays.
No. So, this song is an absolute epic. That number of listens is totally unforgivable. No.
And I can probably give you your exact reason why it's so low.
Yeah, it's because it's a long song.
Long intro.
Just off. Listen to the whole album. Listen to it in its entirety. It's telling a story. Hearts Alive in particular is wrapping up that story.
Because we do not get the first vocals until like the close to the 3-minute mark. That's probably why it deterred so many people.
Meh.
Because people like their immediate action.
They want instant satisfaction, instant gratification. And sometimes with music, with art in general, you can't rush it. You gotta let it play out. Just, no. No, no, no. Anywho, what do you got on this, Michael?
I like the riff that we get into about the 2-minute mark. After we get the atmospheric, I don't really know how to describe, but I really like that lead in to get to that riff with the drums leading just perfectly in, and then the adding on to the vocals, the adding of the vocals just make it amazing. Now, of course, we figured it out why people don't listen to the song. As we figured it out.
I don't like it, sir. I don't like it at all. So, yeah, as we mentioned, the sound of the crashing waves transitions right into the beginning of this, the longest and most epic track on the record. The music during the opening of the song has a bit of a trippy, psychedelic vibe to it, which I think is what you were trying to describe, Michael. Around the 2-minute 3-second mark, the music shifts into something much heavier. This section gets my head banging and my feet tapping every time. There are plenty of proggy, rush-like transitions in this song. The guitar riff around the 3-minute 43-second mark actually reminds me of something that Michael Ackerfeld might put together for Opeth. Vocal duties on the song are shared by both Hinds and Sanders. The clean vocals in particular have a vaguely haunting, psychedelic feel to them. Dailor brings some of his finest drum work on the record to this song. I love his drum work on the transition at the halfway point of the song. In fact, that transition is one of the best on the record, period. The instrumental work post-transition is phenomenal. It's hard to describe, but the mixture of the clean guitar tones and the heavy, distorted bass creates a sort of magical atmosphere. There's another transition around the 10-minute 2-second mark that takes us into a section that kind of reminds me a bit of a Queen song. It's got that sort of stadium rock feel. Hinds and Kelliher provide some absolutely killer guitar solo work. At 11 minutes 43 seconds, we take our final transition. It's a little more of a triumphant sounding version of the riffs we were just hearing. It's an epic way to close out the amazing thematic journey for this record. Just a awesome song.
Dad's cussing again.
Michael, do you have anything else on Hearts Alive?
I do not.
Okay. So now we'll get into our final track on the record. This is track number 10. This is Joseph Merrick. Michael, what you got on this?
Welcome to the least listened to track on the record.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
2,356,000.
And I'm guessing that that's spurred by a couple different reasons. Number one, people are not album listeners, and number two, this is an instrumental track.
Yeah.
There's no vocals, so people just said off.
On Spotify, it literally says instrumental, so.
That's annoying. What you got on this, man?
I mean, I enjoy the riffs and all that throughout the song. It's an instrumental. I'm not the biggest fan of instrumentals. I like having some vocals, but I will say it's better than an inside of a record.
Boy, don't give it too much credit now. That's not a very high bar to clear. So, this instrumental track is the second part of the so-called Merrick trilogy, which began with the song Elephant Man from Mastodon's first record, Remission. Joseph Merrick was a real Englishman who lived in the 19th century. He had an ailment that caused him to have some tragic disfigurement. He was treated very poorly, even at one point as a circus attraction. Mastodon drummer Brann Dailor has a bit of a fascination with Merrick's story, seeing him as a figure who has represented pure resilience in the face of tragedy. Musically, the electric guitar tone has a warbling flange effect to it. It's meant to sound like it's being played underwater. This is combined with the sounds of an acoustic guitar. The song even has a bit of organs being played that give it an additional emotional resonance and adds ambiance. It's a very different sounding song than anything else on the record. It's like the quiet, emotional music played over the closing credits of a film. Michael, does it change your opinion of it, knowing that this is titled after a real person that lived in the 19th century?
I think that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. There's a fantastic film about Joseph Merrick called The Elephant Man. We'll have to sit down and watch it together sometime. I think you'll like it.
Okay.
Michael, do you have anything else on Joseph Merrick?
I do not.
Okay. So now we will get into our final thoughts and our overall album ratings. Michael, go ahead and give us your final thoughts and your rating out of 5.
I think this record is pretty amazing. I do say it deserves all the treatment it gets and high praise. I enjoyed every song on the record. I may have not sounded like I really enjoyed it, but I did. And that's why I'm going to give it a 5.
Wow. So Michael gives it the perfect score, despite the fact that it kind of sounded like you weren't really feeling it. You seemed kind of bored with it and stuff, but I'm impressed that you went ahead and gave it a 5 out of 5. You liked it better than it sounded you did.
Yes.
Is this an album you would go back to revisit?
Yeah.
Are you interested in hearing more from Mastodon?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we definitely will get to some more Mastodon down the road here. So maybe in between the time, you can find some more love for this. For me, I know many may disagree, but for me, Leviathan is Mastodon at its best. This album is the pinnacle of their career, in my opinion. The band doesn't shy away from its influences. It's heavy as hell, psychedelic, proggy, complex, and varied. We even get a taste of bluegrass with some of the riffs from the late great Brent Hinds. What works so well for me is how heavy this album goes. The usage of the screaming, growling vocals of Troy Sanders is used to great effect. I think this gets left behind in future releases as the band transitions from the thrash-influenced sound of this record to a more proggy, psychedelic territory. Brann Dailor is an absolute beast on the drums. He utilizes some very Neil Peart-like drum fills and transitions. His drumming is fast and precise. Hinds and Kelliher are a crazy 1-2 punch on guitar. What they do with their interlocking riffs, psychedelic hooks, and monstrous, heavy, crunchy guitar work is legendary. If you've never heard Leviathan, you need only to listen to the epic Hearts Alive to get a taste of everything the band is capable of. Leviathan is a masterpiece, and it gets a 5 out of 5 from me.
Perfect score from Dad. Surprising.
Yes, sir.
Dad does not hand those out lightly.
No, I do not. So you know it's got to be great if I'm handing it out. All right, that's going to take us to our question for the audience. What is your favorite track on Leviathan, and why? All right, now we're going to get into our next segment. This is Can't Wait. New music coming soon. Michael, is there anything on your list of albums coming soon that you're looking forward to
Just
over
give
the next
me,
couple of weeks?
Just send me forward to May 1st, you know?
Well, I think you're skipping out on one that comes out next week.
I'm in. I'll still get it.
Yep, for me, over the next couple of weeks, there's quite a bit of music that I'm looking forward to digging into. On April 24th, Atreyu drops their new record, The End Is Not the End. Einar Solberg releases his new record, Vox Occulta, and for those that don't know, Einar is the lead singer for Leprous. Foo Fighters drops their new record, Your Favorite Toy, and that's the one I was referring to, Michael. Sepultura drops their new EP, The Cloud of Unknowing, which also is going to be their final recording ever. The band is calling it quits.
How much music did they make and how long have they
been
around?
They've been around for a long while. I think you'll dig them. Thrash metal, good stuff. Also on April 24th, the Amity Affliction releases their new record, House of Cards. And then on May 1st, as Michael alluded to, Seven Dust drops their new record, One. Recently announced, on June 5th, Evanescence drops their new record, Sanctuary. On June 12th, Fires in the Distance drops their new record, Circadian Promise. And on July 10th, Devil Driver drops their new record, Strike and Kill. Michael, anything else from you before we move on?
Nope.
Okay. So now we'll get into some listener feedback. We did get one piece of listener feedback that I wanted to share with you, Michael, that I thought you would enjoy. This piece of feedback comes from Ron on Spotify. This is regarding episode 44, where we covered U2's The Joshua Tree. He says, my favorite U2 album. Running to Stand Still is my favorite track off the album. I just love how they blend so many styles and instruments to make such an outstanding album. Thank you guys for covering it. Ron, thank you so much for the response to our question. I do like Running to Stand Still quite a bit, and I agree with you. The Joshua Tree is an absolute masterpiece. Definitely my favorite U2 album also. Michael, anything from you?
Thanks, we got listener feedback.
It's been a while, right?
Yeah. I don't even remember the last time we had feedback.
All right. Now we will move on to our final segment. This is Michael's journey, discovering a song from the past. And this time, we're going to get Michael's thoughts on Tesla's Love Song. Love Song is a power ballad written by Frank Hannon and Jeff Keith of the rock band Tesla, and was originally released on their 1989 album, The Great Radio Controversy. The song reached number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. It also became a gold record. Frank Hannon has stated, and I quote, I was literally just watching TV, kind of depressed, because I had just got into a big fight with my girlfriend at the time. I wasn't trying to write it. It was just kind of writing itself. It was just my emotions coming out, end quote. Jeff Keith's contribution, he's the vocalist for Tesla, and he took that raw musical emotion and penned the lyrics from his own heart. The goal was to move away from the cool and stylish tropes of the era and focus on something happy and contented, yet real. The song reached a peak position of number 54 on the Canada Top Singles chart. It reached number 10 on the US Billboard Hot 100. It reached number 7 on the US Mainstream Rock chart, and reached number 67 on the year-end charts for 1990 on the US Billboard Hot 100. Featured personnel on this song, we've got Jeff Keith on vocals, Tommy Scotch on guitars and backing vocals, Frank Hannon on guitars, piano, synthesizer, and organ, Brian Wheat on bass and backing vocals, and Troy Lucetta on drums. Michael, let's get your thoughts on this song.
Amazing song. Fun fact, I had never heard this song.
Had you ever heard anything from Tesla before?
I do not recognize the name.
Okay. Awesome. So we truly did introduce you to something new here then.
Yeah.
What else you got?
I really enjoy that opening and then into that riff and the vocals. Amazing song, and it deserves all its praise. It earned it well.
Very hooky.
Yes.
Tesla never caught on with me for the most part. There are a couple of songs that I really enjoy, though, and this is one of them. This is a power ballad that opens up with some very pretty acoustic guitar work from guitarists Tommy Scotch and Frank Hannon. Around the 1 minute 21 second mark, we get into the song proper. It's got a really bluesy feel. Vocalist Jeff Keith delivers the lyrics with a lot of emotion and soul. Brian Wheat's bass line has a terrific groove to it. Troy Lucetta's drums sound punchy and come through loud and crisp. The guitar solo that begins around the 3 minute 12 second mark is bluesy and emotional. After the solo, the song opens up into a big stadium anthem. The fantastic guitar work continues. The closing refrain of the song, "Love Will Find a Way," has so much soul and power. It's extraordinarily uplifting and hooky. I can't not hear it and sing along. Just a fantastic 80s anthem. Lyrically, the song speaks to a collective experience of seeking connection. Just such a good song. Michael, let's get your rating out of 5 on this.
I give it a 5 out of 5. It's amazing.
Perfect score from Michael. Perfect overall on the show.
It deserves all its praise.
Yes, sir. Great tune. Glad you liked it. All right, Michael. Up next on your journey, we're going to check out Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell's song, "Ain't No Mountain High Enough." And for our main topic on the next episode, we will be discussing Led Zeppelin's 1973 release, Houses of the Holy. And with that said, we want to hear from you. We will read your emails and messages on the show. We have only one request. Keep them clean. There are several ways to contact us. You can email us at lightmovepod@gmail.com. You can also reach us on several social media platforms such as Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, and Threads. Details on how to connect with us are in the show notes. We are part of the SPDM Crew Podcast Network. Check out all of the podcasts on the network by visiting spdmcrew.com.
If you like the show, subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform and share with your friends and family. We're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and a variety of other platforms. We're also on YouTube. Can't find us on your chosen platform? Shoot us a message and let us know. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This helps us be found in the algorithm. Make them good and we'll read them on the air. Are you in a band and you'd like for us to check you out and possibly drop a recommendation on the show? Shoot us a message. We'd love to check you out and give you a shout. We'd like to thank you very much for listening to the Leitmotif and Movement podcast.
Take care and enjoy music.